You know, cheating is something that I don't think everybody understands. They might not understand why it sucks so much for everybody in the community. I mean, I never really cared about cheaters in other games that much since I didn't play them. That is, until Space UK happened.
I can't fucking cough, otherwise I'm gonna cough.
I had looked up to him. He was one of my favorite players for his raw skill. It was unseen before.
I beat something on stream. Finally, I beat something on stream.
Slaughterhouse is still one of my favorite levels because it just looks unreal. It looks like it should be impossible. No level had looked this insane before it came out. He verified it right as I got into the game, so it was super influential to me. Then, about a year later, we found out he hacked. A lot of people thought he was hacking since the beginning, but nobody had any real proof, so I 100% believed it. I genuinely thought Paco was joking. I laughed at the exposing video before I clicked on it, thinking it was a joke. But it was soon clear that it wasn't. It was so disappointing and confusing. The way the entire community viewed top players had completely changed. So when you combine a now suspicious community and an outrageous claim, you get some controversy.
Transition. Oh my god, okay. Transition. Just cut that out. Transition.
WorldGame is, a kid's channel. It might sound weird to say that, since most of his videos are just Geometry Dash challenges, but we'll get into that later. He has a series where he beats main levels blindfolded, which would be a really impressive task. And don't get this confused with an invisible level. At least with those, you can see your icon and stuff. There are visual reminders and cues. This is where you can't see anything at all. Imagine playing the game like this. I'm sure you can imagine the community's shock when he uploaded a video where he beats Clubstep blindfolded. I mean, Clubstep is a demon level, it barely seems possible. His first video on this was 5 years before his completion, where he showed his failed runs and how he practiced the level. At the end of the completion, he shows his stats. 2 million attempts. It's crazy. That'd be by far the most attempts ever on a level. But once you think about it, this number seems a bit unrealistic. Let's start by looking at his first video 5 years ago, where he already has 500,000 attempts. So that means in 5 years, he did 1.5 million attempts, taking him to 2 million. Divide 1.5 million attempts by 5, that's 300,000 attempts each year for 5 years on average. That's an average of about 800 attempts every day, which seems fairly reasonable. I couldn't imagine how fast attempts would go by blindfolded. I mean, I got 1,500 attempts in 45 minutes on overtime when I started it. Except there's one problem. Take a look at his final jump count, 106 million. Do you see what's wrong with that number? That's an average of 50 jumps per attempt. Now remember, this level has 4 game modes: Cube, Ship, Ball, and UFO. UFO and Ship do not give you jumps, but Q and Ball do. By 41%, you get exactly 50 jumps, 36 seconds into the level. That means that the average attempt lasted 36 seconds. Now while that is assuming all attempts are from 0, the last 50% only has 26 jumps. So if you did a run to 100, it would take longer to get 50 jumps than it would to go from 0. So the absolute minimum time is 36 seconds. 36 seconds times 800 attempts is 28,800 seconds, which is exactly 8 hours every single day. And remember, this is a minimum. But you know what makes this even less believable? Well, look at the start of his run. Every attempt from 0, he does this intro. The whole thing is 48 seconds long, but we can be generous and say the first 14 seconds is footage he did before the run. That's 34 seconds, plus an average of 36 seconds every attempt. Are you seeing why this is a bit ridiculous? But it doesn't stop there. In his first video about Clubstep, where like I said he had 500,000 attempts, look at his jump count. 1.8 million jumps? That takes the jump ratio from 1 to 53 to about 1 to 3. That means, for the last 1.5 million attempts, he did 105 million jumps, which means he would have to do 70 jumps per attempt. That means you'd have to get 51%, which takes 44 seconds. 800 times 44 is 35,200 seconds, which means he'd have to play for 9.7 hours a day. And this is a 0 practice mode. 0 runs, only starting from 0. This all proves, undeniably, that the stats are fake. But it doesn't necessarily prove that the run itself is fake. There are plenty of weird elements, like his finger over here. Is this supposed to help him? There are really weird ship movements, like at 138, he just randomly lets go of his mouse for no reason. If you were blindfolded and couldn't see, why would you do this? You can't see, so why would you do something so risky and completely throw off your click pattern? And what's crazy to me is he does the exact same thing at 145, look. And at the drop, he straight sliced here for no reason. It would be easier to just click a couple times. He's also always looking in this direction, which doesn't prove anything, but we have no idea what he could be looking at. And also, he shows no proof that he did actually do this legit. The only proof we have is this video and the one from 5 years ago. There's no raw footage or screen recording or anything. Let's talk about the other video since it's pretty hilarious. This intro is why I think it's a kids channel, by the way. Just look at this.
Here, come on, get out from here. This is my video. Come on, come on. I'm going to show you now all my failing attempts while playing to Clubstep with closed eyes. Enjoy yourself.
Anyways, the video actually starts, and it shows him freaking out every time he dies. And it seems to show him turning off the camera every attempt, which probably means the time in between attempts are even longer than I thought. It also shows him studying Clubstep frame by frame, writing down how many jumps there are, which is hysterical. Nobody has ever studied a level like this to do a blindfolded run. In any game. In another part of the video, he falls asleep while the level runs, which some people have used as an excuse as to why he has so many attempts. They obviously didn't realize that makes the jumps even less believable. Also, it's the most fake sleeping I've ever seen. Also, why is he playing on his TV in his bedroom when he's only ever been shown playing it here? It didn't even look like he was playing it when he was awake, he was just like looking at the screen. Please tell me this is some joke that I fell for and it's not real. There are so many comments under these videos congratulating him, hyping him up, as if there's nothing suspicious about it at all. It never shows him getting past like 10% in this video, and nothing in it is real. Like, I don't need to tell you that every scene was planned and staged, but not a single comment I can find is even a little suspicious. Look, I get there are a lot of kids in this community, but Durami, King Sammy, Azerturk, they're all seemingly falling for this too. Maybe GT Colon as well? I can't tell if this comment from him is a joke or not. This video is literally making me question what's real, and the comments make me question my sanity. The most frustrating part about this whole thing is that I can't prove it's fake. I have no evidence that he cheated, and honestly, I think this footage is real. I think the footage is real. He's just cheating in some other clever way that we can't see. But he's clearly faking his stats. The only other Clubstep video is obviously faked, and he shows no proof that it is legit. I was literally questioning making this, just in case it was all some huge joke I missed, like it was genuinely something I was worried about. But after showing it to some people and asking them about it, it's clearly supposed to be real, and I can prove that everything is fake, except for the run itself. I know that this might get some comment from a kid trying to argue with it, making excuses, but I should have covered everything. Whatever. If we're in a community that can forgive Space UK simply because he beat the Golden, then I can't help it. Alright, we'll make it good.
Az's family was the cause of 9/11. True story. Goodbye.